A quick video. This is a video of a dark-skinned cat talking about how light-skinned privilege does not exist amongst the men. All right. So shout out to him because he's spitting facts right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Today, we're going to explore light skin privilege among black men and try to find out if it really exists. Right before you is a video I did about 3 or 4 days ago by journalist Simone Biles and her ex-boyfriend, salty ex-boyfriend, who decided to insult her by stating that he found something better. And on this video, a comment was made by a very intelligent poster who stated that he believes light-skinned, pouty lips, lighter colored eyes, certain type of hair, style, texture, gets more love. And this goes into the whole debate whether or not light skin privilege exists within the black community, or if it really exists. Let me say this. Light skin privilege does exist, particularly when it comes to dark-skinned men and lighter-skinned women. But when it comes to the men within the black community, out of the black community, I'm going to say a resounding no. And I'm going to try to illustrate to you why I believe that light skin privilege is not an advantage to men like it is to light-skinned women. Now, you're going to have to follow me very carefully because this is going to be a very controversial topic and it's going to dispel some of the notions that you have believed. I like to think out of the box and think for myself and come to my own conclusions. And I believe that I can illustrate to you that light skin privilege does not carry the same weight among men as it does women. Let's get started. These guys are on Instagram. And this is where the intelligent poster stated that they get more love. Let me try to explain what's going on right there. Instagram is not a good barometer for the world at large, only because the amount of likes, the amount of followers that you can get can be bought. And a lot of times, too, you must remember, even though this guy right here got about 38,000 views, consider that America has over, 250 million people. That's like less than 1% of the overall U.S. population. I don't know how that's being weighed against the world at large. It shouldn't be. Because, as I stated before, number one, they can be bought. I mean, you can buy likes, you can buy followers, you can buy comments. All of that can be bought. So to me, that's not any weight towards if it's going to carry over into the world. So I don't think so. So here we go. These are groups right here. The groups right here that non-black groups. As you see right here, these are some of the top groups right here. Boys to Men, New Edition, Backstreet Boys, Bill Biv DeVoe. And I would like to know, out of these groups right here, how many of these groups right here have members that are all light-skinned? If being light-skinned was such an advantage as you get older, wouldn't these groups right here benefit from having all light-skinned members? No, the majority of these groups right here, I mean, you can go to the old Delphonics, you can go to the Spinners, you can go to the OJs, even the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5 were not light-skinned. They would have been brown at best, not light. But how many groups do you see with members that are light-skinned? Other than maybe the silvers, but that was boys and girls right then and there, though. But above all, the majority of black singing groups, black male groups, have been like 97% dark skin or brown dark skin. Okay, here's where I think this myth comes from about lighter skins being the men, having an advantage over darker skinned men. I believe this stems from childhood. Now, this is a yes and no, okay, answer. The yes part would be in adolescence, lighter skinned boys, particularly with the curly hair, the big afros, do have an advantage. Because anyone within the black community knows, in elementary school particularly, maybe going up to junior high school, most of the black girls there, like the light-skinned guys with the curly hair. And what happens in adolescence tend to leave an indelible impression on our psyche later on in life. Some of us tends to carry that over and don't realize that what was then, and what is now is now. So I'll reiterate, light-skinned is an advantage for men when you are younger.
And that's weird because I don't know why they would make darker men insecure, because light-skinned men are a minority and a minority within the black community. And most of these light-skinned dudes don't even grow up around, especially the mixed ones, they don't even grow up around black people. So, like, you ain't got no reason to be insecure about him taking a dark-skinned female or nothing like that. But they don't really want their women. They want non-black women. That's the whole point of them. That's what they were mad about. They were mad that light-skinned men had access to non-black women and still do. All right.
Yes. Elementary school, junior high, things after that, it changes. And I'm going to get into why it changes, I believe. See, I believe that at this particular age right here, girls are not looking to be protected. With protection comes a certain type of look, a certain type of masculine quality that they are looking for, which causes a shift as you get older. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, many of our lighter skinned brethren have an unfair rap of being soft. Not as manly, not as strong, those things like that. So I think...
And it's not based in reality. It's not based in reality, but like I said, I mean, you really can't really change that perception. Like, you can have a light-skinned dude, like Steph Curry, knock out a dude like LeBron James. Like, is that really going to change the perception of, on average, as light-skinned dudes? Like, light-skinned dudes will have to go on a killing spree, like King David in the Bible, for them to really fear them. But, like, it ain't really worth all that. But it's not based in reality. But
a lot of times when girls turn into women, they want someone with more, what they've been conditioned to believe is a masculine edge, who can protect them, who's more brute, who's more forceful. And that's where the darker skin comes into play. So, as they start to get older, this is what women tend to like. Can you tell me one light-skinned model who is more successful than Tyson Beckford? If light skin was such an advantage, he would have been surpassed or supplanted above Tyson Beckford as the #1 model of all time. But this has a double-edged reasoning too right here, because Tyson Beckford is in an industry that is controlled and dominated by white men. And that's important that we get into that. It's extremely important. Here we have two men right here. Obviously, one is light, one is darker. Does anyone really believe that the lighter skinned one in adulthood would have an advantage over the darker skinned one? I mean, women or men would find both of them attractive. I don't believe that the lighter skin benefits you as you get older. And let me throw this out about Denzel and about acting, because we touched on Tyson Beckford in the modeling industry, about Tyson Beckford being considered the #1 male model of all time, dark skin model. Now let's get into Hollywood. Hollywood is controlled by white men. And, I don't want to say the word, but the J word. Well, I can say Jewish, right? I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's just the truth, though. So not trying to be mean, not trying to be derogatory, but white Jewish men, sometimes many of them could be gay, who knows, not a bad thing at all. But here's the thing right here. Look at Denzel Washington. He's considered the #1 black actor of all time. Let's go down the list right here. Morgan Freeman is considered #2. I guess they're going by success, movies and things like that. Samuel L. Jackson is number.
I'm gonna make a part 2. I think the group of people he said that control the industry, I think they fear light-skinned men in America. All right. Matter of fact, I know they do. All right. They fear the light-skinned Israelite man in America, but that's a whole nother video. But I'm gonna make a part 2 to this.